Welcome to this short video on iOS 16, the new grid framework that you can use in SwiftUI. I'm using Xcode 14 on a MacBook Pro 16-inch with an M1 Pro chip and 16GB of RAM. The great thing around the new Xcode 14 Beta 1 is that the previews are so fast. So if I simply change Hello World to be capitalized, you can see it responds practically immediately. Also, it's running and it's got the great feature how you can actually see it in different type variants, and it will render all the little previews for you very quickly. So it's absolutely fantastic that way. Okay, let's get into the main part of the video. So we're going to build a grid. So let's delete the text here in the image and we'll put in a grid. And that's how you create a grid. What you can then do is add elements into the grid. So hello cell, and that's a cell within a grid. You can then create grid rows, which are the main ways in which you format the grid rows. So you create a grid row for every row you want in a grid. So you create a grid row like so, and we can put the text in here, hello cell in a row, and what we'll do is copy that 3 times so that now we have hello cell in a row. If you put some more of these in, then you can see it starts to actually expand the number of columns you've got to whatever you put into the grid row. And then you, of course, you can actually copy that whole grid row and paste that in here. So let's put the text up here to be, this is a grid, and we'll format that with modifier of font, and let's make it a large title. And then we'll put a font at the bottom, text, this is the footnote, and we'll obviously make that a font that is going to be a footnote style. And you can see how this really works very well. What I'll also do here is change the background of the grid to be orange, so we can actually see. So let's stick to 3 columns in each particular grid. Okay, that's fine, perfect. Now what I want to do is put in a custom view. So I'm going to put in a custom view and I'm going to call it my rectangle. And it's going to be a view, and in there I'll put in a body some view, and we'll simply draw a rectangle with a fill color of .red. Okay, and now when I insert that inside here, rectangle, and update the view, you can see that it expands to fill the available space because we haven't put any size on that, and we can simply replace all our text with those my rectangles, and we'll do it over here, 1, 2, 3. So we've now got 3 columns in 2 rows, and I could actually copy that and make a 3rd row. So now you can see how the grid is actually working. If I was to take out one of these, what do you think would happen? Well, the way in which it actually processes this, you can see that it starts from the column 1 and doesn't fill it out. There is a way of making it fill the available columns, and that is with the grid cell columns count. We'll say 2 for this, and even though we've got 3, we don't really need to add 1 for the last row, but we'll do it for formality. We'll put 1. So we've now got a nice grid layout, and again I'll do this up here, but this time I'm going to put the last column as 2 and the first one to span across 1. So now we've got a really nice layout. Let's experiment with this and make the rectangle react to user interaction just to change colour, just to show it's all working as it should. So what I'm going to do is create an array of colours, and then we're going to do a state variable, if I can type correctly, selected color, and we'll make that equal to .color.red. Okay, so that should build fine, excellent. And then we'll put the color as to be selected color, so it'll draw a rectangle in the selected color. Great. Actually, let's make it blue so you can see a difference when the preview updates. There we go. They're all blue. We've got an orange background. Fantastic. Now, if I want to simply change the colour, because the previews are interactive by default, on here, when you've got that blue symbol clicked there, then I simply can just put an on-tap gesture and make the selected colour equal to the color array.random element, and unpack that for us, unpack that, rebuild that, so that now when I tap on one of these cells, it will actually change to one of the colours inside the array. And I'm actually going to make the background, rather than being orange, I'm going to make it grey, so that you can actually see when it's actually selecting an orange colour. And that's grids. They're really super easy to use. They're very good. And please do experiment. Thank you for watching this first video.